يا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
يقول الله عز وجل: وسيق الذين اتقوا ربهم إلى الجنة زمرا. And when those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are guided into Jannah in groups, they will come to it and its gates will be opened. The angels guarding the gates will say, "Peace be upon you. Verily you have succeeded. Enter it safely forever." And the people of Jannah will say, "Thanks be to Allah. He fulfilled His promise." They will see the angels surrounding the throne, glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then they will say, "All thanks be the Lord of mankind." حدثوني عن الجنة فيها ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على قلب بشر. When our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was asked about Jannah, he said, "In it there is what no eye has ever seen. In Jannah, where no ear has ever heard. In Jannah, what no mind has ever come to." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a very, very strong mind. Humans can imagine so many things, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us only imagine what we experience. In Jannah, there is so much that if you sat for hours and days and months and years to imagine something, you wouldn't even be close to what is in Jannah. In Jannah there are 8 doors, and with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He is so merciful to His servants, He made it more doors. He made Jannah have more doors than the hellfire. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described the size of one door. From one side of the door to the other side is a distance of 40 years. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't mention, is it 40 years walking or running? Is it 40 years human walking or an angel's strength? But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted to give us the picture. That is one door, and imagine that it will take someone or something 40 years to cover. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ mentions the story of the last man to enter Jannah. This is the last man. No one will enter Jannah after this person. He stayed in the hellfire for some time so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive him from his sins. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally takes him out of the hellfire. And in a far distance, Allah raises a tree. This person just came out of the hellfire. He needs shade, he needs water. So he asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Ya Allah, can you grant me some shade from that tree?" So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him and makes him stay under that tree. So he stays there however long he can stay. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings up another better tree with better shade and better water. So he's patient, he's a human being, but we all have limits. So he waits for however long he can wait. Then he asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Can you grant me from that shade and from that water?" Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him his wish. And he stays there for however long he can stay. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows him the gates of Jannah. So he asks him, "Ya Allah, put me close to the gate of Jannah." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him his wish. And he stays there for however long he can stay. Then he asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Ya Allah, enter me into Jannah." This is the last person to enter Jannah. You know what his reward is? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to him and he laughs. And the servant thinks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mocking him. So he tells him, "Oh Lord, are you mocking me and you're the Lord of mankind?" And he says, "Oh servant, I'm not mocking you. But I can do whatever I want." That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he grants him, he tells him, "What about I give you whatever you see on earth? Kingdom, money, gold, whatever. And that is not enough. I give you 10-folds that." So that is the last person entering Jannah. What do you think of the first person? What do you think of those who enter it first, in the first lines, behind the prophets and the companions? The Prophet ﷺ says, in Jannah, there are 100 levels. And between each level is a distance that you can compare to the distance between the earth and the sky. And paradise is the highest level of Jannah. From it will explode the 4 rivers of Jannah. Above it is the throne. So when you ask Allah, ask in paradise. When you're in your prayer at night before suhoor and you ask Allah Jannah, you can do better than that. Ask in paradise, because you never know. You know how the saying goes, aim for the moon, and then if you can't catch the moon, you're gonna land between the stars. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets you wish wherever you can. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling you, you want to wish for Jannah? Don't just wish for Jannah. Wish for paradise. You never know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. And every night of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out a list. And He has certain names. And if your name makes it to that list, you're never going to see Jahannam. You're never going to touch the hellfire. On the Day of Judgment, the happiest person on earth. You can think of the richest man. The most gold, the most money, the best cars, the biggest kingdom. And he will be brought and he will be dipped one dip. The hadith say he will be dipped one dip in the hellfire. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask him, have you ever tasted any goodness in your life? And he will say, oh Lord, I have never tasted any goodness in my life. One dip in the hellfire lets him forget any good they have ever faced in their life. And then on the contrary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the person that we would call a loser nowadays. The person with no money, no house, the person who lived a miserable life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would bring him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills for him to be amongst the people of Jannah. And he will be dipped one time in Jannah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask him, oh servant, have you ever tasted any harshness in your life? And this person lived all his life in harshness. But one dip in Jannah lets him forget any bad thing, any bad experience they've ever experienced in their life. So he says, oh Allah, I've never tasted any harshness in my life. All my life was pure. All my life was full of happiness. Finally, brothers and sisters in Islam, when the people of paradise enter paradise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, He will talk to His servants. He will say, do you want anything more? They will say, have you not made our faces full of light? Have you not made our faces bright? Have you not admitted us to paradise and saved us from the hell? What more can we ask for? Then the veil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will lift His veil, the veil covering Him, and He will remove it. And then the servants will see the beautiful face of their Lord. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us to see that moment. نسأل الله عز وجل ألا يحرمنا لذة النظر إلى وجهه الكريم. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة ونعيمها ونعوذ بك من النار وجحيمها. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.